为财死，鸟为食亡。为财死是人的事情，为食亡是鸟的事情，知道吗？
话是没错，可是您这一身的心血都在这上头，就这么放了，可惜呀。
人心粗了，吃再精也没什么意思。别说中国菜到台湾40多年，早已经是三江五湖汇流入海，都是一个味儿了。就连龙凤呈祥都能混成脆盖排式，还有什么好说的呢？
The title Eat, Drink, Man, Woman comes from a quote better translated as eating, drinking, man and woman, wherein lie humans' instinctual desires, from the Book of Ritual by Confucius. It tells us that food is an integral part of life as relationships between men and women. Food and family are the drivers of life, and they come together in Ang Lee's classic film about a family and the changes it is going through as times change around them. We experience the tension in the family caused by a culture grounded in Confucian values and changes coming about because of Western modernization. Ang Lee is not a fifth-generation film director, but there are strong similarities between his work and those directors. He tells the story of changing times through the day-to-day lives of his characters. It is true that due to being raised in Taiwan, Lee does not deal with the war against Japanese aggression, the Great Leap Forward, or the Cultural Revolution, but he does tell a story that shows conflicts between Confucian culture directly into modern society. This is not a Taiwanese story. Ang Lee is often referred to as a second-generation mainlander. His father fled the mainland in 1950. This is a Chinese story which now rings even truer in China as society has continued its rapid economic development. In several movies, including Eat, Drink, Man, Woman, he focuses on the Chinese theme of how traditional Confucian ideals regarding one's role in relationships interacts with modern industrial and somewhat Western view of the individual and seeking of individual happiness. This film can easily be compared with the films To Live and The Blue Kite, where Confucian theory of focusing the family affairs of the day is a task of the highest order seems to be the organizing philosophy of each movie. But we will review the use of food and meals through a number of films we have watched this semester. Let's start with food. How important is food? Chinese often use the phrase 吃了吗 as a greeting. It literally means, have you eaten yet? But it has more of the meaning in Western culture of how are you? Have you eaten are the first words that we hear in the film. K.C. Chung, author of Food in Chinese Cultures, points out that Chinese people are very food-oriented. To a Chinese person, taste is ultimately the most important sense, but food should also be pleasing to the eye and to the nose, and even to the ear, whether it's the sounds of the food or sounds of lively conversation while eating. The Chinese can justifiably claim to have developed the greatest food culture in history. Ang Lee points out that food is to Chinese cinema the way sex is to American film. The first scene we saw this semester with food was in The Last Emperor and his numerous dish meal. What was this meant to represent? Wealth, power, exoticism, and some form of ritual art. In Raise the Red Lantern, the wives eat multi-dish meals, which also show off the wealth and power of their master and are part of their ritual lifestyle. In Eat, Drink, Man, Woman, it is slightly different. The Emperor's chefs have nothing on the skills of Master Chef Chu, but clearly this does not show off wealth or power. The house is comfortable but modest, and he is doing all the work himself, but it does tie him into the same form of ritual. Later in the movie, we are told that the society is breaking down because even garbage food can be turned into what would have been a fancy meal. Fancy food preparation, while visually stunning, is not the most important part of the ritual meal, however. Eat, Drink, Man, Woman is a film that largely occurs around the dinner table. At the beginning of the film, each of the three daughters attends the Sunday family dinner out of sense of duty and respect towards their father, even though all three of them would rather be someplace else. They are unhappy slaves to the ritual. Jia Chen tells her ex-boyfriend she has to get home for the Sunday dinner torture ritual. These are not pleasant gatherings, as there are tensions in the family caused by changes in society, and at each of the 5 dinner scenes, a confession regarding these tensions interrupts the flow of the family meal. Food is still clearly seen as a form of love, however. It is clear that the father loves his children, and that is why he puts so much effort into these meals for them. You may not know this, but Chinese parents have a difficult time of openly expressing their love to their children. We also see Chef Chu's love of little Shan Shan by his preparing of her lunchbox with lunches fit for an empress. The most telling discussion of this, however, is the fact that Chef Chu eats the lunch prepared by Shan Shan's mom every day because he can feel the love packed in it. Likewise, we see the brotherly love between Chef and Wen while they are still eating leftovers and getting drunk after the giant wedding banquet. At the end of the movie, we see Jia Chen returning the show of love by preparing an elaborate meal for her father that either repairs his sense of taste or just rediscovers his sense of taste. Likewise, the new dinner table has brought the family closer together, so they now can be honest about why they cannot come to dinner. Through the art of cooking, passed down from one generation to the next, old family wounds are healed and the family is even stronger. Chef David Chang of Momofuku has said of the family food scenes, a family meal is a different concept. Cooking for guests at a restaurant to please them versus cooking out of love. Something you truly want to do. Whether it tastes good or tastes bad, even if it's bad, you still eat it because it's out of love. While the food is not as fancy, meals are used in the movie to live as a sign of love and happiness. Food and meals play an important role in the film. The communal scene shows the son using food, in a weird way, to support his sister. Likewise, the scene when he takes the tea to his father, but the tea is really vinegar and hot sauce, you see a little bit of family love there, even though in reality it's his son being a little jerk to his father. Later, we see the families eating dumplings, and it's such a sweet moment before the family ends. Next, we see the Red Guards turning down food as an act of kindness to the family, humanizing the Red Guard members. There is also a family dinner, or really family meal, announcing the daughter's pregnancy. The grandson is also connected to food, for he is called Little Bun or Xiaomantou. The final happy ending scene is the new family all sitting down together at a meal. For a movie with so many terrible things happening, almost all the good things happen around food. Likewise, there are scenes of family warmth around the dinner table and Blue Kite. The wedding meal at the beginning shows the connectedness of the family, followed by much of the film's story happening again and again at the family table over food. Further, we see the new year being celebrated by dumplings. We also see the boy grow closer to both his stepfathers through numerous meals. Throughout all the films, we see the family sit together at the dinner table, laughing, crying, talking about problems, and being a family. We see through all of these films, food brings them together, as it should always bring a family together. These 3 movies all deal with sweeping societal changes occurring in China in the 20th century. They do, however, through the same technique, showing us the day-to-day lives of the same characters as change impacts them. Nothing is more day-to-day, particular to the Chinese, than the family meal. Each movie uses the family meal to show changes going on while still clearly showing the love and unity that surrounds the Chinese family meal. Nothing is more basic to life than eating, drinking, and the relationship of men and women that form the family.